for the two-game MLB slate. And this is what we've come to, right? Now the two-game slate is the full slate. But had a good playoff season, so I'm happy to continue playing until they won't let me play anymore. I'll tell you this: I have not had any luck with the few showdown slates I played. I don't think I'm going to play them. I think it's too much reliance on the relievers. But I don't know. Maybe I will play it. The 8 o'clock one, 4:37. Probably that good tournament's probably already gone. But let me see. Let me see what the MLB showdown is. It's got to be sold out by now. The Texas Houston. Yeah, we can't play that one. But maybe we should play one just to get some practice with it. I mean, there's not that much time, many more slates left, but still, maybe just to learn, we'll do something. What is going on?
Hey, how's it going?
What is happening?
I saw that you were jumping on, so I decided I'd
Robert Firestone is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
We're back in business.
So I was just saying that this is what a full slate looks like now. With two games, and I've been doing pretty well, so I'm gonna keep doing it. You know what I haven't really had any luck in is the showdowns. I haven't played that many slates. Just think so much of it is kind of relying on like knowing what relievers to play.
Yeah.
I haven't really gotten close to anything. I was right now just considering whether to fire one in the late game. I'll have to look at it a little bit more later because the early one, the good one, is already closed.
Yeah.
So what's happening here, Bobby, is my two MVPs are going freaking straight after one another. Like I've had every time Eovaldi's pitched, I freaking smashed with him, and every time the Astros were three different times, Houston had the lowest team total on the board somehow, and because SaberSim is kind of sassy like that, it always gives me the lowest team total team.
Right.
And they ended up killing people. So now I got the immovable force against the irresistible object or whatever. I got the Eovaldi versus Houston matchup, and I'm just kind of curious to see where I get when I build my lineups here. You have any opinions?
Yeah, I mean I actually like the. I'm just playing one lineup and I'm building it right now. I'm going to play Eovaldi and Wheeler.
Okay.
And I am probably, and again, I mean, it's such a small thing. You're obviously going to play the mostly Texas and Philadelphia if you do that. But I'm trying to leave some money on the table and trying to use the bottom of the order for both Texas and Philly because I think Tavares and Marsh will be two of the lowest owned players. So I'm going to try and play those guys and hope it can get me there because I'm only playing in the little one today.
Playing the one lineup with two game slate though, right? Yeah. Okay, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, leaving some money on the table is I think a good idea. I'm
you know what I was doing today? I was beefing up the templates for the NBA sheets. For when those come out. I don't know the projections or anything like that, but I'm just making sure the columns look good. You know what I mean? I've been just kind of looking at that. Some sites already have projections for the first day.
Yeah,
but no, it's good because I just want to make sure it all kind of.
Yeah. So we've got it on Tuesday. Oh, by the way, I sent you an email just at some point when you're off. If you could just sign something for me and send it back.
Oh, sure.
No.
When did you email me?
I emailed you a few days ago, but then I sent it again today.
No, listen to me. If you email me something and I respond to it,
I should have texted you. No, it's already clear with where we're at and everything for the company, so I just was setting it up.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't notice, I didn't even notice till I looked today. The site's kind of have be revamped. It's been revamped a little bit.
Yeah, we got a few technical things that change along the way, but we've got the format we like quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, I like it.
And definitely open to any feedback if anybody has any thoughts or anything that makes things easier. But I think we're fixing all the pages too now and making it so it's a lot easier to show the content a little bit clearer and things like that.
Yeah, I have a couple of comments, but we'll talk about that in the.
Can I quickly mention my how about my 30-1 parlay hitting yesterday?
What?
I only won today. Yeah, I had Cleveland. Remember, I said on there, I said Cleveland's going to beat San Francisco.
Right.
And I parlayed it. I said the Lions will kill Tampa Bay. So I hiked the line up to 6.5. My buddy did the same thing, and he got 30-1 for it.
What the hell?
And he made 75 grand.
What?
But I know it's.
Did you make 3 at least?
What's that?
Did you make 3 at least?
I made 7,500.
Oh, awesome!
I made a real bet on it. I really liked those games. So it was a bad DFS day for me, although I did always, as always, did well in the showdown and all that stuff. But it was a bad DFS day, but it was more than saved by a really fun parlay that I haven't that I actually, I feel good because the money's in my account this time. It's my second time making one of these crazy parlays.
So I'm actually going to whine a little bit, not for myself. I'm going to whine on behalf of my friend. So those of you that heard me talk about it a lot, because my friend Jack, I know from college, literally 35 years ago now, right? We ran around in college. We were betting in college, and just stayed friends for years. He's my partner in the Survivor Pool stuff, and he's my age. He went to law school, but now he sells. He's an insurance guy. He has a family just like me or whatever. But he's he knows a little bit about, he knows a lot about sports, like me, sort of. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he loves betting, and we have the same type of thoughts about how to, be contrarian and stuff. We always had a lot of fun talking about sports, whatever. And he opens his DraftKings account. He's betting stuff. He's actually posting his picks on Twitter and stuff. I joke about that. He's the sharpest non-professional I know. And he bets nothing but normal, either NFL or college basketball. It's not even college basketball, like Santa Barbara versus Irvine. It's always highly liquid games, whatever it is. He's just a guy who wants action when he gets an opinion. And he actually posted, he loved Washington over Oregon. He posted all over Twitter. He got, pretty lucky, whatever, but he made good money on that. And they freaking limited him.
Oh my God.
Limited. He tried to bet $80, $100 or whatever he made $20,000 over the last whatever, but you try to bet an NFL game for next week and they're limiting him in the NFL. What kind of wimps sportsbook do you have to be to limit a 56-year-old freaking just dude who just wants action in the major sports? He's not some spreadsheet prop guy who wants to just scrape for every penny in soccer over unders or something like that. He's not a professional. He's just he's exactly the type of person that DraftKings wants. You know what I mean? Just a guy who's into sports, I'm not saying he's a fish or anything like that, but he's a smart guy, but he's got some money, and every once in a while he wants to fire some shit. You know what I mean? And they're freaking limited him. Now you got to be freaking kidding me. Now he could obviously play on a lot of other sites and whatever. Yeah, I got really mad. I emailed my VIP person. I did whatever. I'm what are you doing? This is not the type of person. And I'm perfectly okay from a business perspective with them limiting guys that they think are just just super sharks that want to take advantage of liquid markets. Listen, it's their business decision. But even as a business decision, you can't, if you limit someone in the freaking NFL, for Christ's sake, come on, man.
It's ridiculous. And my issue also is it doesn't make sense to me. If you're giving that much credit to that person, why aren't you using those people to factor in your betting odds?
Right.
You're giving them that much credit. Factor it into the odds. They should be allowed to play.
And I'll tell you something else. When you interview Benson from Circa and all the other guys that are really good bookmakers, they keep guys like that exactly for that reason. To get an idea of who the sharp money is, and and whatever it is, maybe they take a side sometimes or something like that. So I'm a little steamed by that. So okay, when I run my first, now I always love doing this. Is so cool. These are things that make me really interested. So I want to share my screen here.
Yeah.
Which is somewhere. So when I ran my builds with just doing my projections, and I sorted it by SaberSim, whatever, I'd be getting 100% Arizona and 80% Philly, which makes sense because they're the two lowest team totals. That's just what they do. Okay.
Right.
All right. Now, what I'm curious though is what happens when I run the contest sim. Now, what I did, I do this every video, for people who have been following this. So I already put in the settings, what you do, Bobby, if you ever want to screw around with this, is you put the settings what the contest size is, percent to first, and what field to kind of compare it to. And I did that for both the relay throw and the perfect game. because like the concept, and I go through is whatever is that it's supposed to not only build lineups but then tailor them specifically, right, to the contest that you assign the values to. So I always kind of like to see the differences between just kind of running the lineups normally and just what happens when you take that second step, because this is very new,
Right.
to do this way. And I always see a little difference. Now, if I'm going to guess of what this thing's going to do, and I'm going to guess that it still has the majority of an Arizona Philly, but that it spreads it out a little bit. And again, let me see what it says. Let's do it. So what you do is you sort by relay throw, and usually the best way to do it is by risk adjusted ROI.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, it's exactly right. Actually, it gets you more Houston this way.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that's interesting to note is that there's not a single player, there's not a single, I think, lineup that's got. Oh, it's got a couple. I was going to say it does have a couple with players from the opposing team, but not like a lot.
Right.
I think max. I think it probably does max of one. So it. And what I want to do, I just really don't feel like paying for them all, is to see like if I ran like the same projections in 4 different simulation models, right? That all purport to do the same thing. I want to see what the difference is going to be with the builds. You know what I mean? Because I'm just, again, I'm testing all this stuff out myself, just intellectually, and I'm curious. I'm sure some people do like subscribe to all the different sites that have the different simulation models. Like this is just a Saber symbol. I know Roto Grinders has their own, Awesemo has their own, Awesemo Stochastic has their own. They have their own. I'm just wondering if you put the exact same projections into 4 different simulation models, and you put the same settings into what the contest is. I mean, technically, you should get something similar, I would think. So I'm curious to see one day. It's one of those things where I'm.
That's really interesting, though. No, I mean, I think
I'll do it.
This is how you learn to stay ahead of these things.
Yeah. And then the other thing, if you guys are interested, I know this is like nothing, whatever, but I did a hockey video today, and I only mention it not because of the hockey video, but in the last like 5 minutes, I was describing the difference between good players and good lineups versus good lineups in a portfolio of lineups, and I drew a pretty cool analogy, which I've mentioned on this before, to the stock market. And if you guys want to, whoever's listening here, you guys want to check that out. I think it's useful. I think it's, again, I don't purport to be a stock market advisor here, but it's something it's what keeps me interested in this. It's the idea that there's so here are the different levels. I'll just go over it again. So take it for baseball. There are good baseball players. Okay, that's great. Okay, you identify, and then are they a good fantasy baseball player? Like for today, right? Because not all good players are good fantasy baseball. And then if they're a good player, does that necessarily, if they're a good fantasy player, does that mean they're a good play? Well, it depends what their price is, right? And then if they're a good play, are they going to be part of a good lineup? So like there's all these like 10 good plays go well together, right? And then even if you have 10 good players who's also good plays who also go well together, does that fit the risk profile of what you're trying to do? Like if you have 10 good plays that all go well together, but they have very little range of outcomes, then that's probably a good cash lineup, but probably not a good like GPP lineup. And it's similar to the stock market. Like there's good companies, I'll tell you a million good companies, but just because it's a good company doesn't mean it's a good stock.
Right.
Just because it's a good stock doesn't mean it's a good stock now with respect to value. And even just because it might be a good stock now for value doesn't mean that you should buy 10 of those and put all in the same portfolio, because they don't really work well together because they're all going to move on the same news. And then even if you find 10 good stocks that all work well together, it's still not the end of the story, because those might have too high variance for the type of investor you are, And likewise, if you have 10 good stocks that are all good and they're all very, very, low beta and low variance, then you probably don't want that if you have a higher time horizon. So these types of, analogies are what kind of keep me coming back and playing more when I get bad beat in DFS, because like these types of things are kind of interesting to me.
So, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm just going to basically just pile this into the.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give a heads up. I will go live solo at 7 Eastern to do.
No, you won't.
Oh, you're gonna do it with me?
No, you won't, sir.
Oh, beautiful! I love it.
I will go with you. I was going to go 7:15, but 7 o'clock works fine. That's perfect.
This might be the best Monday night. This might be the best showdown slate we've had because I've never seen 6 players project to be double-digit owned in the captain before.
That's really funny.
Sanderson has 6 players, which is just gives you a feeling between the Dallas and Chargers. That's what kind of game this is.
By the way, did you guys know that yesterday in the Buffalo Bills Giants game, the Buffalo's defense was like 50% owned?
Really?
Yeah.
That was a good move.
Like 24. No, they busted. Like 24.
Wasn't giving up 9 points.
24% owned in the captain, I think.
Oh my god!
And about like almost 40% of lineups were 5-1 Bills.
Oh my god!
Yep. All you had to do really was go 2 Giants, God forbid 3, and you were just so far different than everybody else.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And tonight, I think people probably going to do the opposite, right? It's going to be like a 3-3 with mostly the skill guys. If you really want to be whatever, you play 5-1 or you play the defenses tonight. We'll talk about that.
It's going to be hard for the defenses to get there because you'd think there'd be enough scoring going on, even if
right?
You'd think, but yeah.
And again, I see the Cowboys, man. When they get it, but they don't have that dude, right? The Vander, whatever.
But even if they did, like the Chargers just never don't put up points. You know what I mean?
But they could put up 31 points and give up two pick sixes too.
Right. That's the kind of thing that could happen. Yeah. Absolutely.
But Herbert gets rid of the ball. I mean, it's like
and I mean it's just a really fun. It's a fun slate to multi-enter on because you can definitely do a lot of different things and. I like there. You have some of these guys you convince yourself are like showdown specialists, and I swear it always seems to work out. But like Michael Gallup, for example,
Michael Gallup's going to be huge chalk tonight.
I don't think he's going to be owned in the captain at all.
Oh yeah, maybe.
And I don't think he's going to be as huge a chalk because there's so many players you could choose in that range.
That's
Dowdle,
true.
Turpin. I mean, these are legitimate.
The Turpin thing is actually really amazing. Like they didn't think he was. They thought he was going to be out for like 4 to 6 weeks.
I know.
And then they're like, no problem, he's playing.
Yeah. And then we have Donald Parham who catches a touchdown every time he steps on the field.
He does. What about the? We'll talk about this later, but I'm kind of like the other one. I kind of like the Brandon Cooks from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Just something to do.
Yeah.
Let me see. You're not playing FanDuel, right? But just for the fans, we'll run a FanDuel build here and see if there's any real difference. Yeah, for me in the NFL yesterday, it was just first of all, I was in Virginia all weekend, and it was a lot of fun. And then Sunday, I actually drove both ways. I usually fly because it's a 7-hour drive.
Oh, really? Wow.
50-minute flight. Well, you know what? We were a little spooked by like the what was going on with everything. So I just make my wife feel better. I drove both ways, and the Sunday drive back was fine. I drove back from 12 to 7. I had football on in my car all day long.
Oh, beautiful.
So that was fine. But the only place I won yesterday, I won on Yahoo, but everything else was just kind of just whatever. I thought I was off to a good start with my Sam Howell, and then he kind of faded. After
I know he had the early 3 touchdowns too. It looked like he was going to have a good game.
You know what? But Atlanta won the $1 million on the other side.
I know. It's just so weird, man. It's such a weird game.
Atlanta won the $1 million. What do you think of the? I'll throw this out there. One of the things that apparently they're learning, or people think they're learning from the sim stuff, is that so many of the sim-based builds have no runbacks.
Yeah, that's really, and I think it's something that's like a lot of sharp people I think started picking up on a couple of years ago, but like they didn't have anything to measure.
Okay.
They didn't have the sims, but I've noticed that people have become more okay with it. It's still hard when you manually build to click those buttons when you have a player at the same price that seems like a really good run back.
Right.
And on FanDuel, for example, though, it was a very straightforward build that won everything. It was the Miami stack with the Thielen and Hubbard run back.
That's true.
Core.
Did Hubbard get there? I mean, was he enough?
he had at least 15 or something on FanDuel, which means he probably had 18.
Right on FanDuel. Right.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what he ended up with, but
I'll tell you who was the man which was Mostert just kept delivering.
I know.
Where was Chris Brooks? What the hell? I mean,
and even what's his name? Even Salvin Ahmed got a touchdown there at the end.
Yeah, where I was supposed to be Chris Brooks. What the hell? What happened? Unbelievable. I ran so bad. I don't even know if he dressed for the game. If you want to know the truth, so I can tell you.
I don't know either. I never seen him on the field much.
But oh my God, the Giant game last night was so tilting. 30% of the Survivor pool people had the Bills.
Oh man, that's brutal.
So brutal. Just so brutal.
That's so brutal.
Yep.
I have no idea how the Bills won that game. Actually, it looked. I don't know. It just he's walking between raindrops or whatever they say.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right.
So we're building a FanDuel. Let's see what we come up with over here. Again, this is for what's his name, Canine Bronco and the fans.
Let's see what we
There's really dumb. There's no changes in the way DFS works in the NBA this year, right? There's no extra player. There's no extra whatever. Nothing
that I've noticed yet. I actually was going to try and use a little bit of today to do a little bit of more digging, not necessarily on the slate specifically, but just sort of like teams' depth charts and things like that. I've done a little bit of that, but they're figuring it out as they go. So I'm trying to keep up with it.
So same thing with FanDuel, Arizona, Philly, and then weird. Now who's the big rookie who's going to start off at like 4K that's going to end up like 10?
I think the rookies are going to start off way more expensive because like Wembanyama is and
Chet, it's going to be like 8K for game one probably.
Yeah, probably. Actually, I don't. Yeah, we don't have it for the second. I don't have it for Wednesday yet, but
right, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I would love to see what it is because
meanwhile, day one, I mean, DraftKings just like breaking through on softballs. I mean, like, okay, everybody, so how easy is it to play NBA? You see the salaries?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
just completely ridiculous. Jokic at 10K, like it's so hard to get your brain to like refocus on like, okay, so now instead of 5, I'm looking at 7 as an average. What I want, you know what I mean? Like it's just tricky.
Right.
I'm so used to doing it the other way, but I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm really pumped.
So same thing, by the way, Arizona and Philly on FanDuel. Save here. Okay. And then in the Monster. Well, Monster's a little interesting. So who would be your one favorite pitcher, like on FanDuel, for example, if you had to just pick? Who do you think's gonna have a good game?
I think the logical answer for most people is Wheeler, but I'm not honestly sure that that's correct. Like, I actually think that you could make just as good of a case. I have a hard time with – it's really hard because the Texas team is so loaded. But Wheeler's had 4 starts against these Diamondbacks and hasn't had a good one yet. He's been rocked in all 4 starts. So it is – I mean, again, 2 years, whatever, over the last 2 years. I don't know. So, but he seems like the right answer still to me. But I think if I don't know, you could make an argument with Valdez, I guess. I just think Houston will be the most popular, and I think that Eovaldi is the highest risk pitcher, but will also be the lowest owned. So I'm doing that. For what it's worth with Valdez, like they've seen a lot of them. You know what I mean? I think he's had like 7 starts or 8 starts over the last 2 years against this team, something like that. I heard it the other day, but so they're at least fairly familiar with him. It's actually most of these, I guess that's what happens this time of year. These guys are pretty familiar with each other.
I'll tell you something else to keep everybody keep in your calendars. November the 3rd, whatever that weekend is, I'm gonna be away, but it's Breeders' Cup weekend that weekend, so I will be putting out content.
Oh, nice.
Breeders' Cup, both Friday and Saturday. I'm gonna try to get what's his name, Michael Baychuk on there to help with that. Maybe got Steve on there, whatever. And we'll do the Breeders' Cup stuff. Hockey's off to a good start. That's coming out every day. I'm actually working on something new for I have another announcement. Hold on. For hockey, I might do I'm working on a stack thing like I do for some of the other sports. Well, I see your email. I'll take care of that. So here's the big news. So again, if you guys are interested in getting on Stake Kings or whatever, so I'm coming out of retirement tomorrow. To play poker. So I was supposed to do this a couple of weeks ago, but my friend's whole house got COVID. But so we're doing it tomorrow. So the WSOP Online, they have a bracelet event and they have a circuit event, just running side by side, like it's the end of one and the beginning of another. So I'm going to Jersey to my friend's house, and we're playing. I'm going to be playing at the same time. Yeah, that's right. Assuming he doesn't get COVID again. I'm playing the 2K 6 Max High Roller, and then also at the same time, like maybe half hour later, there's like an 888 with which is the end of another series. I'll model for as many as 2 rebuys in that one. So, and I put it on Stake Kings, and but full disclosure, I'm like totally out of shape, out of whatever, but you guys want in, far be it from me to deny everybody the possibility. It would literally be like one of the great upsets in the history of poker. I'll be, not only am I out of shape, but I'm fighting like 40% of the people with RTA bots probably. So we'll see what happens though. They still got to get the cards, and I tell you one thing I have over. I run better than most. So
you're the only person else that ever say that.
Yeah, I run better than most. So if you listen, you want to run an RTA bot and give a 1%. Take a 1% edge over me, and you think your ace king's going to hold against my queen jack? I mean, feel free. I run pretty hot. We'll see what happens.
That's pretty funny.
I used to say that about what's his name, about when some of the other guys had like 1 million accounts or something like that. Who was I talking about? Z Justin or others? Dude, I don't care how many Z Justin I'm playing against. As long as I win my coin flips, I don't care. And that was always my very ignorant, egotistical take on it. But like, let's go. It's like, bring them all. Put 5 of the same table. I don't care. I'll go beat all of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's healthy. So that's maybe not healthy for your bankroll, but healthy for your mindset. So
yeah, it definitely is healthy for your mindset, especially if you're going to play poker. Like, I mean, you need to think about that.
And if you're like looking around and like just worried about like everybody who might be cheating you for an eighth of a point or something like that, it just makes the game not even fun. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, listen, I'm playing. It is what it is, and yeah. So I'm that's tomorrow. It starts at 6:00. If I can get it work, I'm afraid to live stream it because I would want to make sure that's okay with like WSOP Online. Like I don't know if that violates their. I presume I could probably do it, but I want to confirm with them before I actually do that.
Oh yeah, I wonder about that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I know people are like, well, why do you want to show people your cards? Like they'll. Good luck.
Yeah,
because it's not like they can see it real time. Twitch even has like a 30-second delay probably. So.
Yeah, I think it's long enough over there.
Yeah. So
let me see. So when is the tournament?
6 and 6:30 Eastern time tomorrow. So I'm not around tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Actually, I might do it for my friend's house. I might come out at like 5 or something.
Nice. Let me see.
But there's nothing tomorrow anyway, right? There's
really nothing tomorrow.
Okay.
There's one game, I think.
Yeah.
All
right. Any questions in here? What do we got? Anything?
No, just that people were happy hearing your stock thing. Jolly always wants you to talk about stock stuff.
Oh, nice. Website complete. Thanks, Brandon. Brandon, freaking Showdown hero, right?
Yeah, he's been crushing it this year.
Yeah.
Showdowns.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. The NBA late night sweats. We are definitely doing more of that this year.
I'm so in for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess I'm good. I guess I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna be back. So I'll see you at 7. But I might go on for everybody else. Like at 6:30 to do hockey, or 6:15. But I'll make sure to close that out before 7, so you can fire up a new one at 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good, man.
It works.
All right. Yeah, for sure.
All right, guy. I will